Hi, Steve Adubato. Welcome to the Tisch WNET studio. It is our honor and pleasure to welcome for the first time, hopefully it won't be the last, Andrew McCarthy, the author of a book called Just Fly Away, an actor, director. You recognize him from a whole bunch of things that he has been doing for how many years have you been in the business?
Since '82.
First film was?
Called Class, with Jacqueline Bisset. I played Jacqueline Bisset's young lover, yeah. It's been downhill ever since. I should have quit right then.
I'm sorry, was that hard work doing that?
I was 19 years old, and I went to an open call up on 72nd Street, and they wanted an 18 vulnerable and sensitive kid, and I was like, dude. And
was she there?
No, she was not. But I went to 7 or 8 auditions, and they flew me out to Los Angeles to her house up in the hills, and they drove me up to Jackie's house to be approved, and yeah, she approved.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic.
And how soon after do some of the other really great things, Pretty in Pink and St. Elmo's Fire, how quickly after?
I didn't work for about a year after I did Class, and so I thought, oh, well, that was it. I had my shot, and it's over. But then I guess I did another movie called Heaven Help Us, and then St. Elmo's Fire happened, and then Pretty in Pink, and then they all sort of happened in a rush there.
Okay. Fast forward. Just a little bit. Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
Directing.
Yeah. It's like herding cats, that show.
Okay, my wife's favorite show.
It's very good.
Netflix,
yeah.
Right? What do you love about the show?
I just think it's Jenji Cohen, the creator, as an original voice. You know, all those shows, all TV shows are the writer's voice, really. You know, you can shoot them in any different styles, but if the voice and the, dialogue and the characters aren't original and real, then that's what makes TV. You know, and the cast of characters in that, those are ladies that didn't get to do much except play house, cleaners and nannies and things, all shapes and sizes, all different ethnicities, and suddenly they're in the mix, and it's chaos, and it's great. I mean, it really works. There's a lot of truth in that show, and there's a lot of humor and pathos within the same moment,
For you, given your background as an actor, as a writer, when you're directing, how much of, it's complicated, I don't want to overcomplicate this, how much of that do you take into your directing, and how much of it frustrates you as a director because you have a sense of what could and should be?
Well, that's interesting, actually. I have every actor neuroses there is, so I understand.
Go back, hold on, wait a minute. I can't actually, is there such a...
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, I understand being, defensive and all these kind of things. And, most of the time it's the actor doesn't know the lines if there's a problem. And you kind of go, well, when I act like that, what's my problem? Oh, I don't know my lines. All right. So, Bobby, we're just going to do the first 2 lines from this shot, right? And then suddenly Bobby's charming again. But, I have a good eye for the truth when I see it. You know what I mean? So that's what I have as a director, is I can know, and I know how to talk to you quickly to get you sort of back on track or surprise you or let you know. I think what you really need as an actor is to know someone's paying attention. It's like being a good interviewer. Someone's paying attention, right. They're listening, and they're supporting you and wanting it to go well for you. And they are just sort of like a parent behind a child going, I've got you, go on out there. I'm right here. Go on, I'm right here. And so I think I understand that, and I know the need for that as an actor. Like when directors often go, cut, one more. First thing here as an actor is, oh, I failed. I always go, cut, good, let's go again. Go, good, okay, I'm okay. It's because instantly when you're an actor, you are in that vulnerable, open, childlike spot. And they say, cut, you close up quick. And if you hear the first thing you hear is negative, you're like, tense. And the last thing you can be as an actor, it's more than you want it, isn't it? Last thing you can be an actor is tense. So the thing you want to be, relaxation. Laurence Olivier said the most important thing in acting is relaxation. So if I'm open and relaxed, so I go, cut, great, that's really nice. We're just going to go one more, keep rolling. Here we go, ready, and go. I'm still right in the mode, as opposed to, cut, yeah, one more. Okay, obviously I didn't do it right.
You're not a yeller.
It depends.
You don't appear to be here on PBS.
I should be around my kids.
I didn't say with your kids. And you work.
No, I mean, it just creates tension. What you want to do, it's like being any sort of boss, is you want to empower people to do their best and make an environment so that they can risk failing and not be embarrassed and humiliated, right?
Oh, 2 of your kids, who's in the business, your kids?
Both I have 3 kids, and 2 of them have started to become actors.
How old?
15 and 10. My daughter was just Matilda on Broadway.
Yeah, we heard.
And she's doing another play now, 1984, on Broadway. And my son just did his first film, and Molly Ringwald was his mother. So
whoa. Back it up.
My world's getting smaller and smaller.
Wait a minute.
I know, it's crazy.
It just happened that way?
It just happened that way, yeah. Comes home from rehearsal the first day and goes, Dad, my mom in the movie's Molly Ringwald.
Do you know her?
Do you know Molly? Yeah,
Did
Sammy,
Molly
I know
call you or
Molly.
say anything?
She emailed me and said, we just did rehearsal the first day and your son walked away from me and it looked like you walking away 30 years ago. So it was kind of crazy and slightly
great.
disconcerting and lovely.
Good stuff. Talk to me about this book, Just Fly Away.
Yeah, in my it's a young adult novel about a 15-year-old girl who finds out she has a sibling across town that she never knew about. It's a book. I started writing a book about secrets and family secrets and how they destroy a marriage. And I was writing a book for 7 or 8 years, and I couldn't quite crack it. It was about a guy who had a one-night affair and had this child, and he never told his family about it. And I was writing it for a long time, and I couldn't figure it out. And my favorite character was always the 15-year-old daughter. And one day I just started writing from her point of view, and it changed everything. And suddenly I was writing a YA novel. Because I knew instantly that I was writing from the 15-year-old in myself to the 15-year-old in myself, if that makes sense. And I was just interested in this notion of secrets and how they destroy us. And, you know, we think it's fine, and it's not. You know, and they put up walls, and then particularly in families, and they're passed down from generation to generation. And with that, we've got stuff foisted upon us that we don't even know is foisted upon us. And so that was interesting to me.
Let me push you a little bit on that.
Yeah.
My doctorate is not in psychology, but it's too close for comfort. You ready?
Yeah.
You grew up in Westfield, New Jersey.
I did.
Describe the neighborhood.
My neighborhood I was one of those be home by 6 for dinner neighborhoods. It was, you know, you go out and you run and you're gone. I mean, the book I based on my neighborhood and growing up in Westfield. It's not named, but I mean, it was very much the memory of the town that I grew up in. So, I mean, when I was a kid, it was totally, I don't even know if that neighborhood exists anymore in the world. You know, be home by 6, and my parents didn't know where we were. And, you know, 6 o'clock, you go racing them home. You know, it's great.
When you went into this business, how supportive was your family?
Well, I didn't know anyone in showbiz when I started. My father's response was, I don't think I can say that on TV. No son of mine's going to be an effing thespian. So he was not
really very supportive.
But once I got the movie with Jacqueline Bisset, he said, "Bring Jackie home to dinner." They were fine. I mean, they just didn't get it because, I mean, nobody we knew was in show business. Nobody was an actor. We didn't know what that was. And, you know, I acted for the first time in a play in high school when I was 15, and I found myself. It completed me in a way that I hadn't known I was not completed until that moment.
Had anyone I'm sorry for interrupting, Andrew. Did someone push you into that 15-year-old
No, I mean, I was
experience?
cut from the basketball team, and my mom said, "Why don't you try out for the play, dear?" And I was like, "I don't want to be in the play. I want to be the point guard." And so I did try out for the play, and I was cast as the Artful Dodger in Oliver, and I've been playing the same part ever since.
Yeah,
But, I really have. And but no, I was, you know, Tennessee Williams, the great American playwright, has a line talking about love in Streetcar Named Desire. He said, I think it's Streetcar. He said, it was as if a room that had always been half in shadow was suddenly in the light. And that's the way I felt about myself the second I walked on stage at 15. And I said, I'm doing that. I didn't have any idea how or what. Again, we didn't know anybody. I mean, I didn't know how I was going to do that. But I said, I'm doing that.
I need to press back. That's what you got from your dad, without pushing too hard, because we have young children as well. Your advice to your kids?
Oh, which is why my kids, I think anything that jazzes you and makes you feel like you should pursue. You know what I mean? Because it's particularly acting. There are a lot of people I've met along the years who have kind of said, oh, I want to be an actor. I want to, and, you know, they get that sort of regretful look in their eye. I mean, acting's a wonderful, horrible, you know, job, and it's great. But, you know, I think if you find a passion, you need to pursue it.
You got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that there is.
Ugh.
That's all. And I love, you know, creative, whatever that means. Life has been very rewarding to me.
And that, you are so many, it's interesting. There are others who achieve great fame earlier in their career, and then nothing good happened for them. You just seem to be one of those people who just constantly is figuring out not only what the next challenge is, but the things that interest you.
Yeah, I mean, I discovered travel writing. I became a travel writer about 15 years ago, and that saved me creatively. It sort of rebirthed me, if that's a word. And that reinvigorated my creative life completely, which led to this novel, which led to a travel memoir and things. So, and then that led to directing in a very real way. So, which led back to acting, which I did again last year for the first time in a number of years, which I really enjoyed again. I was surprised how much I enjoyed acting again, because I thought I'd gotten kind of jaded and tired and all sorts of, you know, baggage with acting. But I did it again. And it was really, I remember, it was like breathing to me. You know, it's like, I know that.
sorry for interrupting, being a curious person, being an open person is a big part, it seems to me, to be a big part of your success, being open to different possibilities.
Well, I just follow what interests me. You know, in that moment when I was 15, that changed my life. I'm good at putting little wedges in those openings. When I see, there I am, I'm good at putting a wedge right in there and prying it open. When I traveled, and it changed me. And I felt again the same way I did when I started acting. I went, there I am. I put a wedge in, opened it, and started making a career out of it.
You've decided, you're not great with agents, are you? I don't know why that hit me.
No, I tend to.
It just hit me.
I'm not, actually.
You must suck with agents.
I'm a bad client. And like when I started writing, I just agented myself the way I wanted to have been agented when I was an actor. And I was great. And I wrote for all these really good magazines because I knew my thing was, people are going to go, the actor thinks he's a writer. Great. So I said, I need to write for all these good magazines and good newspapers. And so by the time I was sort of outed, I'd written for National Geographic Travel and the New York Times, the Atlantic, so that I couldn't be dismissed as easily. I'm a terrible client.
I can tell. But you also know how you want to be positioned.
I do.
Which is the key. And the book, you mind if I plug?
Please.
Just Fly Away, Andrew McCarthy, New York Times best-selling author of The Longest Way Home. I want to thank you for joining us here on public television and wish you and your family all the best.
Thanks.
Thanks. Stay right there. Be right back, one-on-one right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, Delta Dental of New Jersey, Wells Fargo, Bergen Community College, PSE&G, JAG Physical Therapy, and by New Jersey Sharing Network. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.